Hello kids, good morning all. So as you know that we all have completed our first term syllabus and our first term exam. So from today we are going to start our second term, and from second term syllabus we are going to start chapter number 6, new questions and ideas from your history subjects. So let us start our new chapter, new questions and ideas. In this chapter, you are going to learn about the Buddha, the story of Buddha. In Nepal, in the kingdom of Kapilavastu, was a town called Lumbini. Prince Siddhartha was from this kingdom. Prince Siddhartha was not interested in the comforts of the palace. He left the palace and went out in search of knowledge. His search brought him all the way to Bihar. In Bihar, he sat under a peepal tree in Buddha Gaya to meditate. As he was meditating, he realized that he had got the knowledge. After that, he was known as the Buddha or the Wise One. He started preaching to the people. All his life, he traveled and tried to teach people what he had understood about life. He did this till he passed away in Kusinara at Madhya Pradesh. Now we are going to learn about Buddha's teaching. So first is Dukkha. Life is full of suffering and unhappiness. People suffer when they don't get what they want or they get what they don't want. Number 2, tanha means desire and craving. So wanting something is the reason for suffering. People want many things and that is why they suffer. Number 3 is dukkha nirodh means end of suffering. Wants causes suffering. So by stopping our wants, we can end our suffering. We should let go of attachments. Then we will not have worries, anxieties, troubles and other problems. Next is pratipad means how to end suffering. One can end suffering by being kind, respectful and good. Buddha believed that our actions, it means karma, would affect us in this life and the next. Buddha preached in Prakrit, which was the language of the common people at that time. He told people to think and not blindly accept things. This itself was very new to the people. Now, Buddhist Sangha. Buddha felt that only those who left their homes could gain knowledge. Buddha organized these people into a Sangha where they could stay together. The rules for these people were written in the Vinaya Pitaka. Men and women who joined the Sangha led simple lives. For most of the day, they meditated and taught others. They helped each other and also settled quarrels within the Sangha. At fixed times, the members of the Sangha went to cities and villages to beg for food. That is why they were known as bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. In the Prakrit language, bhikkhus and bhikkhunis is equal to beggars. Then we'll see the second point is monasteries. The bhikkhus and bhikkhunis were taught and travelled all the time. In the rainy season, it was difficult to travel, so they stayed in one place. That time they built temporary shelters to live in. These permanent shelters were caves or viharas made of wood. The land and building usually would be donated by rich people in the area. Now, new questions and ideas about Jainism. The story of Mahavir. Prince Vardhaman was from a kingdom in Bihar. He would meditate and think a lot even as a child. At the age of 30, he left home and lived like a monk for 12 years. He meditated and put his body through very difficult tasks. People then started calling him Jin, which means conqueror, and Mahavir, which means courageous. He spent his whole life traveling around India barefoot and without clothes, even in harsh weather, telling people to be good. Mahavir preached the ideas of the Jain religion. The Jains call him Tirthankar, one who shows the way. Now we will see Mahavir's teaching. Mahavir's teaching were very simple. Men and women who wanted to get knowledge had to leave their homes. They had to strictly follow ahimsa, which is not hurting or killing any living being, that is, animal or human. Mahavir preached in the language of the people, which was another form of Prakrit called Magadhi. The followers of Mahavir were called Jains. Now, Mahavir's followers. The Jains had to lead simple lives and be absolutely honest. They had to beg for food. They had to give up everything, even their clothes. They could not have families either. Rules for the Jains were very strict and tough to follow. It was hard to become a Jain monk. However, people who could not follow the rules themselves still helped the monks who could follow the rules. Now, Jains today. Jains, monks and nuns still walk barefoot. They sweep the ground in front of them as they walk so that they don't accidentally step on insects and kill them. Now we will see Upanishads. Even before Buddha and Vardhaman Mahavir were preaching, there were many thinkers who were wondering about life. They had many questions which they were trying to answer. So what kind of questions did they have? Let's see. What happens after death? What kind of sacrifices should people perform? Is there something permanent that lasts even when we are gone? So discussion about these questions and many more ideas were recorded as Upanishads. The word Upanishad means approaching and sitting near. This is knowledge gained through discussions by sitting near the teacher. Many of the thinkers were Brahmins and Rajas. They are all mostly men. These are very few women thinkers or poor people mentioned. One of the famous Upanishad thinkers was Shukracharya. Upanishads are books that have the main ideas of Hinduism. Upanishads are considered to be a part of the Vedas. They talk about Brahman and Atma, which are the core concepts of Hindus. Now we will see the ashram system. The Vedic people had a different way of life. They had divided their lifespan into 4 parts. In each part they focused on different activities. This was called the ashram system. The Vedic people considered that people lived for 100 years. This 100 years lifespan was divided into 4 ashrams. The 4 parts were based on the age. So each part was 25 years long. First is Brahmacharya, age 0 to 24 years, purpose studying. The child lived with the guru to gain knowledge. Number 2, Grihasthrashram, age 25 to 49 years, purpose family life. The man got married, had a family, and looked after them. He also worked for society and his religion. Number 3, Vanaprasthashram, age 50 to 74 years, purpose retire or advise. The man retired, he handed over responsibilities to others and helped to share the wisdom he had gained. And number 4, Sannyas Ashram, age 75 to till end, purpose spiritual freedom. The man would give up everything and live like a sannyasi. He would spend most of his time in meditation. All this is about the men. What about the women? The women were not allowed to go to school, so they did not have the first ashram at all. After that, they just followed the ashram that their husbands were in. So this is about our chapter. So we will see with question and answers in a next video.